Imagine charging your customers upfront, guaranteeing they get their money back if they succeed, and still keeping the revenue at the end. To do that, we are going to build a 4-step blueprint that removes the risk of buying, guarantees customer results, and turns short-term participants into long-term clients. But before we build this, you have to meet 2 strict prerequisites. First, your baseline product refund rate must be under 5%. If your product doesn't already deliver results, this framework will bankrupt your business. Second, you need a higher ticket or recurring offer built and ready to sell on the back end. By flipping the financial risk off your shoulders and onto the customer's personal effort, you turn a standard refund policy into a self-funding machine for acquiring new leads. Step 1 of the blueprint is defining the bet. We have to set the exact goal the customer is trying to achieve. You can structure this bet in 3 ways. They can bet on results, actions, or both. If they bet on results, they are promising to hit a specific metric, like losing 10 pounds or making $5,000. If they bet on actions, they are committing to mandatory tasks, like attending every coaching call or sending 100 outreach messages a day. If you are building your first challenge, you should choose both. Holding them accountable to specific actions and the final result protects your bottom line, while giving them the clearest, most structured path to actually succeeding. Now that we have the bet, step 2 is setting the criteria. These are strict rules the customer must follow to win their money back. Rule number 1 is that the criteria must be 100% objective. You need to be able to track it easily through application logs, software timestamps, or attendance records. Rule number 2 is that the required actions must inherently force the customer to achieve the result. Look at what your most successful clients already do and make those actions mandatory. A vague instruction to eat healthy is subjective and impossible to verify. Journal daily in the app is trackable and objective. Rule 3 requires the customer to advertise for you. Mandate they post their progress weekly on social media or leave a public review. Relying on binary, objective criteria eliminates arguments over who qualifies for the refund, and it turns your most successful customers into a free marketing channel to attract the next batch of leads. Step 3 handles the payout. We have to define exactly what happens to the money when a customer actually wins the bet. Giving the initial deposit back as a lump sum of cash is a mathematical mistake that will drain your reserves. Instead, you use a store credit rollover to keep the business profitable. Let's say a customer successfully completes the challenge and unlocks their $600 deposit. The wrong approach is applying that $600 up front, giving them the next 3 months of your service completely free. The correct application spreads that $600 credit evenly over a 12-month contract. If your standard monthly fee is $200, you apply a $50 credit each month, leaving a new balance due of $150. We do this because customers who get months of free service stop paying attention. Without an active financial commitment, they quickly lose their skin in the game and drop off the program entirely. The store credit rollover transforms a potential cash loss into a guaranteed 12-month recurring revenue stream. You retain the customer by giving them a heavy discount on a premium service, and you keep the cash flowing. Step 4 integrates mandatory check-in meetings directly into the rules of the timeline. Make it clear up front. If a customer misses any of these specific check-ins, they automatically forfeit their right to the refund. You map these meetings across the challenge, starting with an orientation at week 1. You use this first meeting to set them up for success, which naturally introduces a complementary item they need, like a specific software tool or supplement. In the middle of the timeline, you hold a progress check-in. Here, you review their early results and introduce the concept of your long-term membership. At the end of the timeline, you hold the transformation feedback session. This is where you make the final pitch to convert them into that long-term membership. To make this work, you have to follow the BAM-FAM rule. Book a meeting from a meeting. A customer should never leave a current check-in without the calendar invite for the next one already locked in. Mandating these scheduled meetings ensures you have a captive audience for your highest margin upsells at the exact moments the customer is engaged and seeing progress. When you combine the bet, the criteria, the rollover, and the meetings, you have a complete self-funding lead generation engine. But that leaves one final problem. We have to address what to do with the customers who failed the criteria and objectively lose the bet. The counterintuitive strategy here is to let the losers win anyway. Pull the customer aside and validate them for simply starting the process. Then offer to credit their deposit toward your long-term program, regardless of the fact that they failed the short-term challenge. Turning a customer's failure into a surprise discount creates profound goodwill. You rescue a failed short-term challenge and convert them into a lifelong, high-paying client.